It brings me to this thing that happened not too long ago where Kevin Hart broke your stand-up box office record.
What record did he break?
He said he broke some record of your box office sales for stand-up.
I don't know. What did he break?
Probably.
I know ain't nobody. Raw is still the #1 box office concert movie in history, so I don't know what records nobody broke.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
Eddie, I don't like talking to you about stand-up no more. I don't do it no more. I'm not falling for the trap. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not doing it. Every time.
You're a sucker. The reason I don't do cocaine, Big Tigger, I get my blood tested every 3 months for the last 15 years. All narcotic tests have come up 0.00%. For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. That all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out?
I've talked to him. Eddie, what the f are you doing? Get on stage. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe. You
got more f***ing dye in that beard than Diddy wears.
All right, that's enough.
And I know.
That's enough.
I seen him. He shows me behind the curtain.
That's enough. All right, I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna edit this out.
But still,
Put a
note on it. You can edit that.
Eddie Murphy just sent the internet into a frenzy after slamming Cat Williams, accusing him of being jealous of Kevin Hart. A lot of people quickly dragged Eddie for the comment, claiming he's only siding with Kevin because he's afraid of him. What makes this even more confusing is that Eddie previously went off on Kevin himself, after Kevin allegedly lied about breaking all of Eddie's box office records. But somehow, when Cat calls Kevin out and labels him an industry plant, it's suddenly jealousy. Make it make sense. Eddie would have been better off keeping his mouth shut, because now he's getting dragged too, and he has no one to blame but himself. And let's be clear, even before Eddie Murphy jumped into the conversation, Cat Williams and Kevin Hart had already been going at each other for years. Their beef traces back to the time when there was an epidemic of black male actors being pushed to wear dresses in order to make it big in Hollywood. Eddie Murphy, Tyler Perry, Jamie Foxx, Marlon Wayans, and Martin Lawrence all did it. However, it wasn't until Dave Chappelle's 2006 interview with Oprah that people truly began to notice what Hollywood was doing to these men.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, why all these brothers gotta wear a dress? This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a... and he put this dress on, and what? This prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave, listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't even wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress.
Now, as I mentioned, Dave was the first to speak about this so openly at the time. His comments sparked widespread discussion, including reactions from other celebrities, one of them being Kevin Hart. Kevin publicly stated that he would never wear a dress, no matter how much money was offered. Yet, just a few months later, he appeared on Saturday Night Live wearing a dress, a wig, and fully playing a female character.
Another great comedian said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is that something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. You know, for me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so, you know, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning.
You look
said
good
no to
doing
that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. You know, at the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, you know, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
Pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee Kavenshane Wallace.
Wow. Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
He eventually responded to the backlash with a Twitter meltdown, saying, "I wore a dress on SNL because I thought it was funny. I made that decision. Nobody made it for me. I am my own boss." Later, when Kat was asked about Kevin wearing a dress, he didn't hold back and openly called him out. To be clear, Kat never said anything disrespectful in that interview, but Kevin took it personally. He later went after Kat when he and Tiffany appeared as guests on The Breakfast Club, calling Kat a failure. Kevin claimed that the reason Kat isn't where he thinks he should be is that he chose to be a crackhead instead of focusing on his career.
Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we have Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
My frustration with Cat Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose.
After all this back and forth, Kat went MIA on social media, until 2024, when he appeared on Club Shay Shay and exposed Kevin for allegedly selling his soul for fame and power. According to Kat, Kevin struck a deal with some industry elites to help launch his career in Hollywood.
In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? What? It's to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years?
Kat then brought up the time he got blackballed for refusing to do a scene in Friday After Next, where his character was supposed to get sexually assaulted. He explained that the producers thought the scene would be hilarious, but he couldn't understand how someone being violated could be funny, so he said no. After filming Wrapped, he claims he was blackballed, and every movie he was lined up for ended up going to Kevin, who was apparently willing to do whatever the producers wanted without asking for changes.
The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Cat Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we talk about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we talking about comedy, right, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story? For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk, that all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetches? out, and then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual, right? It doesn't need that to be funny, right? And me saying that and them going, oh yeah, no problem, and then going to give it to this other guy and having him do it just like it was, and acting like I'm a bad person because I keep standing on my standard. But yeah, it's interesting, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
And unfortunately for Kevin, Kat's comments opened the doors for people to dig deeper into his past. And girl, they found a lot. It turned out that Kevin didn't just sell his soul, he was allegedly involved in some of the freaky stuff happening in the industry, namely Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. Back in 2010, Kevin was reportedly invited by Diddy to a private party in his New York hotel room. Let's not forget that Cassie recently confirmed in court that most of these freak-offs took place in hotels in New York. So, the fact that Diddy was hosting a party in a New York hotel room definitely raised questions about whether it turned into a freak-off once the cameras stopped rolling. One of the videos from that party eventually went viral, and it had people side-eyeing Diddy over a bizarre comment he made about sharing a bed with Usher when Usher was only 14. At some point, he realized what he said and tried to backtrack, but it was already too late. People started connecting the dots fast.
It's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, just out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes, you know what I'm saying, before pause was invented.
The reason this had people feeling uneasy was that rumors had already been circulating about Diddy behaving inappropriately around Usher. Things seemed to be confirmed by Usher himself, who revealed that Diddy used to do some freaky things while he was living at his house. Usher also made it clear that if his kids were ever supposed to stay with Diddy, that would be a hard hell no from him.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and...
I had a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was
So send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Now, going back to that Diddy party Kevin was happily hosting, another disturbing video from that night went viral. It showed a girl catching on fire, but instead of anyone helping her or grabbing water, everyone just stood there as the camera kept rolling. Mind you, Kevin was sitting right next to her when she caught fire, and he didn't do a single thing while this poor girl was literally screaming for her life.
Doing what I do best. Oh! Did the camera catch that? Got the camera!
Recently, the paparazzi ran into Kevin and decided to get messy by asking if he had seen any baby oil at that wild 2010 party. And guess what? He didn't say no, but he didn't say yes either. Instead, he told the paparazzi that they were asking the wrong questions. People felt like he could have easily just said no if he really hadn't seen any baby oil there.
Hey, Kev, when you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil?
When I hosted for Diddy?
Yeah. Nah?
You asking the wrong person the wrong question. That's a good question.
Do you think he's safe in jail?
Wrong person, wrong question.
But here's the thing, y'all. Before all of this, Kevin had already been asked about Diddy multiple times. Every time, he either looked mad, nervous, or completely dodged the question, acting like he had no idea what they were talking about. For example, not too long ago, he suddenly shut down all the vegan restaurants he had opened across the country. When the paparazzi caught up with him to ask why, he had no problem answering. But the second Diddy was mentioned, he immediately stopped talking, hopped in his car as quickly as possible, and drove off. Not only that, but the moment Diddy's name came up, his whole demeanor changed, from smiling and happy to visibly bothered.
Okay, what about Diddy? What about Diddy? Can you talk about Diddy? What happened with Bieber and Justin and Diddy?
Then there was a clip that went viral from Kevin's interview with Mark Wahlberg. When Mark brought up Diddy, it seemed like he knew some things about him, but for whatever reason, Kevin was clearly trying to stop him from talking.
You got more dye in that beard than Diddy wears.
All right, that's enough.
And I know.
That's enough.
'Cause I seen him. He shows me behind the curtain.
That's enough. All right, I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna edit this out.
But still.
Put a
note on it. You can edit that.
While all of this was going on, Eddie Murphy mostly stayed out of the mix, maintaining good relationships with both Kevin and Kat. Kat even praised Eddie for his performance in the movie Raw, and Kevin had invited Eddie for an interview on his podcast. However, things got a little heated between Eddie and Kevin not too long ago. Kevin claimed that he had broken Eddie's box office record, just like he had tried with Kat. It seemed like he was attempting to disrespect Eddie and erase his accomplishments so that he could be seen as the only successful black comedian standing. But Eddie didn't let it slide. He slammed Kevin for spreading lies, making it clear that his record has stood for 27 years and that Kevin is nowhere close to breaking it. Eddie handled it calmly, but he made it very clear that he meant every word.
And it brings me to this thing that happened not too long ago where Kevin Hart broke your stand-up box office record.
What record did he break?
He said he broke some record of your box office sales for stand-up.
I don't know. What did he break? I know ain't nobody. Raw is still the #1 box office concert movie in history, so I don't know what records nobody broke, Kevin.
Yeah, I broke Eddie's record.
I ain't been on stage in 27 years. They still trying to break my records. God bless y'all.
When are we, or are we ever going to see you on stage again doing stand-up?
I'm going to do it again because I got to break Kevin's new record. I got to get back on the stage because this new record that Kevin got, I got to have it back, Kevin. You ain't keeping this record, whatever one it is. I got to have it back, baby.
Word on the street is that Eddie and Kat have been in touch for a while. Apparently, Eddie told Kat to stop going back and forth with Kevin. First of all, it's not worth it. And second, Kevin is protected by the industry, so this really isn't a fight Kat can win. If these rumors are true, Kat might want to listen to Eddie, because the industry successfully buried him back in the day to lift Kevin up. And if he doesn't stop talking, they might just do it again. As usual, people had their own thoughts. One person said, "Yeah, I have 0% respect for Kevin Hart. He said he would never wear a dress, and just 2 months after that interview, is playing a little girl on SNL, dress, pigtails, and a tiara. Then about a month later, he's in a Citibank commercial." Another person commented, "Kevin Hart in all these Diddy videos looking like a volunteer bottom." Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Kevin Hart getting exposed for his industry ties? And do you think Eddie was right to clown Kat for thinking he could beat Kevin? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.